Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about some inexpensive things that you can pick up that are going to make you a lot more capable and also make you more of an asset to your team. Go ahead and roll the intro. Hey guys, thanks for checking out another Hatchet Cast episode. And today I'm going to be talking about some different items that I have procured and found along the way that have been super helpful, that are really inexpensive and will make you more capable and also not going to break the bank. So before we get started, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. Also, if you know somebody who could benefit from these videos, go ahead and share that. It's a great way to help the channel out for free and helps out the Barrel and Hatchet community in a really big way. If you have some other items that you have in your inventory that's really well priced and a good deal and you want everybody to know about it, go to the comment section and drop that down below. It's always great to have your guys' wisdom and knowledge down there. Also, if you are looking to procure some gear or procure some equipment, check our description. On every video, we are updating the description to be able to have an entire build list of different rifles, equipment lists, and things of that nature. And it's a great way to support the channel, so you guys can check that stuff out and hopefully take up less time searching for stuff. We've already done it for you, and it's going to be a lot easier for you to be able to get what you need. So guys, I'm going to be talking about a few things that I've found along the way that have been super helpful, and most of it is stuff that you can pick up at a surplus store or you can get really, really cheap on eBay. And also, these are things that probably are going to be really, really helpful to you in the long run. So one of the things when it comes to gear is the priority list that you should have is your mindset, then it should go to your skills and your training, and then your gear and stuff and prep should be last. So the more skills that you have, as a rule of thumb, the less equipment you're going to need. Now understand, good equipment is always going to, complement the shooter. But if you are not very good in your skill set, buying all this nice equipment and super Gucci gear is not going to make you more capable. Instead, what will happen is those types of folks will just be liabilities that have really expensive gear. So make sure that you are training and going out and getting skills. You can always come and train with us. We have the Barrel and Hatchet calendar up on the website. You can sign up for a class or find another good instructor that's also in your local area that you can take a class with. But the biggest thing is go and get training. Now, when it comes to equipment, there's a lot that you can do with some of this older gen stuff, and usually the older equipment and more surplus type gear is going to be a lot more inexpensive. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is the LBV. Now, this is called a load-bearing vest, and it's an old surplus Alice gear type of vest. What's great about it is I have the ability to be able to hold 6 magazines, as well as there are 2 built-in pouches that are for grenades, but you can put instead a compass or GPS equipment inside of that. What I really like about this LBV is the fact that it leaves this portion open. So if I'm going to be in an SPR roll or a more DMR roll and I need to lay on my stomach and I want to have the ability to unclip this so that way I can open up and lay in the prone, then that is something that is afforded to me. So I can open this up and have the ability to lay in the prone. The other cool thing about this is it works really well with an old USGI Alice belt. In fact, I used to utilize this Alice belt back in the day before all the shooting belts and things of that nature came out, and I actually put it inside of an HSGI or high-speed gear pad, and I would wear that and have all my holster and my dump pouch and all that type of stuff on an old school USGI belt. So you can still get away with these belts. They're really nice, and also the old Alice LBV type of equipment is going to integrate into that belt. You can see on my belt, I've actually placed some guppy pouches from Lunar Concepts. You can actually get these at wisemancompany.com. And these pouches are able to hold a ton of equipment. So you can put canteens in there, you can put, binos, your nods, any equipment that you can put onto your hips is nice because you can take that equipment out of your bag and put it onto your body. The way that I will scale all of my equipment is things that I need to have as like a first line of gear. something I'm going to be pulling out all the time. My main magazines, my compass, a source of water, protractor, and a map, pens, notebook, night vision. These are things that I will keep directly on my body, so that way if I have to ditch my bag, then I'm not losing that equipment. The other thing that's important about putting all that type of gear on your body is you're going to be using it all the time. So it's kind of annoying to be able to go into your bag, dig for something that you need, use it, put it back in your bag, put all that stuff back on, and then go walk a little bit, and then you have to pull it all back out. So really think about what you're going to be doing, what is your role going to be in your group, and then develop your kit around your role. So we actually did a video on this talking about the enabler role, and you build your loadout not based off of what type of rifle you want to carry. That's important, but it shouldn't be the primary focus. It should be based off of what skills do you bring to the table, what type of trade skills do you have that you bring to the team. You're going to load your equipment out for that type of skill set. Now, what else is nice about this LBV is I can also run it without a plate carrier. So I can actually take this slick plate carrier off, which this slick plate carrier is from Wetworks. It's a really low cost plate carrier. It doesn't have any of the bells and whistles. It is literally just there to carry 2 ceramic plates. So very low cost on the plate carrier and extremely low cost on the LBV itself. Now the LBV does have the ability to be adjusted to your body, which is really, really nice. And on the back of the LBV, in fact, I also have a giant pouch that I actually spray painted. It was the ACU military old digital combat pattern, which is trash. So I just went ahead and spray painted that. I've seen a ton of guys that will take that old ACU surplus gear and they either spray paint it or they're going to dye it with like a clothing dye. What's really nice about that is the fact that those older patterns that aren't very good, like ACU, they go for super, super cheap. And in fact, M81 has been one of those patterns that's kind of sought after now, so the price on that has increased a little bit. But if you find some old ACU stuff or pouches or whatever, and you're looking for a low budget way to get your kit together, it is a great way to be able to get additional pouches that are not going to break the bank, and then just spray painting it or changing the color with clothing dye. So having an LBV or a load-bearing vest is really, really nice. There is a lot of popularity coming back with belt kits now, and also wearing chest rig type equipment over slick plate carriers. So if you're wanting to go into this type of setup, it's really, really nice. It's super slim, very low cost, and is already kind of a trend right now anyway. So you can go check these things out on eBay, or you can go to any type of old surplus store and pick them up for pretty inexpensive. Now, one of the other things that I do like to carry if I am wearing an LBV is getting a fanny pack. Now, you can get a fanny pack from anywhere. You can spray paint a fanny pack that you buy from Walmart. This one is actually from Lunar Concepts over at Wiseman Company. And I like to wear the fanny pack whenever I'm wearing slick plate carrier or things of that nature. What's cool about that fanny pack is I can put more equipment. It's almost like a general purpose pouch, or you can use it as a med pouch. And when you lay in the prone, you can actually rotate the fanny pack to your back so it's on your butt, or you can rotate it off to the side, so that way when you lay down, you're not laying on your fanny pack. Especially if you have like harder pieces of equipment inside of that fanny pack, it's not going to be very pleasant in the nether regions. The cost of a fanny pack is very inexpensive, and it's a really nice thing that a lot of guys, even in the military especially, would wear because it's just so useful to be able to hold additional items. The next piece of equipment that I'm about to talk about, I actually saw this in the war in Europe, and it was ingenious when I saw this piece of gear. So I actually went to my local Walmart and I found it. And it is a seating pad. Now this pad is actually of a non-absorbent material. It's like a styrofoam material, and I actually spray painted the outside of it that's facing away from my body. So no matter where I sit, I'm gonna have a cushion pad. It's one of those things where for those guys who've been in the field, or maybe you have a group of guys that you train with, whenever you go out in the morning, everything's wet and you sit down on your butt, there's nothing worse than having wet socks and having wet pants and underwear. So the ability to be able to get your body off the ground is, one, going to conserve heat. It's going to keep your body from getting wet and keep your clothes nice and dry. It's also going to keep the dirt and debris off of the fabric of your pants. So if you have those really, really expensive, nice Cries, or like I'm wearing this really nice Audi Gear combat pants, I don't want to have dirt and material get into the fabric all the time, because as you move, that sand and that dirt particles is very abrasive, and it's going to eventually wear on the threads of your pants or your clothing and cause it to break down a lot faster over time. So the more that you can kind of keep your clothes out of the dirt and out of the water is going to help prolong your equipment and your clothing so it won't tear or rip or wear out really fast. So that's where this type of butt pad came into play, and it's actually, you can get it in the hunting section at Walmart, and I think I actually got it for like $7. It had just a buckle, a quick release buckle, and I have it loose enough where I can it just sits on my butt, and it keeps me out of the elements. It allows me to have a little bit higher morale because I'm not sitting on hard benches or on the ground and it's not, you know, really hard or wet. And so it kind of keeps me a little bit more comfortable while I'm out in the field. It doesn't take up a lot of space. In fact, when you walk around with it, it almost feels like it's not even there. It does look a little bit goofy, but man, it makes a world of difference, especially when you're uncomfortable in the field. A little bit of comfort in the field will go a long way, trust me. Next thing I want to talk about is a source of water. Now, as far as water containers, there's a lot of different water containers out there. Like you got your Nalgene's, you have your collapsible Nalgene's, you have all these fancy water bottles, the Life Straw water bottles that have a purifier in it, etc., etc. In my opinion, I still love the old school USGI canteen. And the reason why is because, one, it's rated for CBurn type stuff. So you actually can get a CBurn version that has a CBurn cap. So if you are wearing a gas mask, you can put your gas mask straw into your canteen and still drink water from your canteen. You can get surplus canteens and you can actually clean them out with like bleach or a cleaning solution and then repurpose it. These things are super durable, and if you actually look at the concaveness of a canteen, it's made to form to your body. So if you're wearing it on your hips, it's not going to be rubbing, it's not awkward in size, it's relatively flatter, and so it's just really nice. The other things that come with a canteen that make a canteen so pleasant, one is the cost. The cost is really low, but two is you can also have your canteen cup and a stove that you can utilize to cook things in your canteen cup all together with your canteen. So having a canteen cup and your stove allows you to be able to have a complete kit for boiling water, eating food. It's just super, super helpful, and it comes in a small package. Now you can get a cheap Alice pack style canteen pouch, or you can buy a Molly canteen pouch. I've even seen ACU patterned canteen pouches. They're very, very cheap. They're really, really nice to have, and it's going to work already with the surplus equipment that you get off of eBay or whatever website or a military surplus store. What I have here is actually an old M249 pouch, and this is actually a bandolier style pouch. It has a string right here, so you can actually secure this closed. And what I've done is I've actually put multiple canteens inside of different pouches that I have. And so what this becomes is it becomes a very fast, easy to grab source of water. These pouches come in an M249 saw can. And whenever guys are done with them, or like in the military, they take these and they just throw them away. These are so convenient to be able to just grab. And I've seen these things on eBay for like $4. And you can literally just grab it and throw it over your body like a satchel and kind of run with that. What's really nice about this type of bandolier system is that it's a grab and go. So if you're looking to grab something really, really quick, you can grab it out of your ruck, you can grab it, you know, out of your house, your little base camp, and just run with it really, really fast. Or if somebody is in need, or you have, like, let's just say, for example, your team is out to go rescue some families and you know, they don't have any water or food, you can bring up multiples of these and give them to that person, and now they have a way to carry their water bottle and different types of items that they may need to have, and it's not going to break the bank. They're very, very effective, and there's so many different general purpose uses you can use for them. Something else that you can get when it comes to bandoliers are the 5.56 ammo bandoliers. Now, if you get surplus ammo, like M855, it will come usually in this type of bandolier system. Inside of each cell is going to be 30 rounds, and then it'll have a stripper clip and a cardboard box. But you can keep these if you actually end up getting surplus ammo, or you can buy just the bandoliers that are already opened from eBay, and I've literally seen them for like $3 or $4 a pop. Now, if you notice, on the bandolier, whenever you get it, there's going to be a white string that is on the bottom of this. And for those who don't know, I'm sure that most of you guys do know what that's for. But a majority of you who don't know, this white string is actually removable. So once you get rid of that white string, you can actually pull it. It'll come all the way out, and you pull on the side that has the longer tail on it. And what that does is it opens up the cell. So that way the cell is a lot bigger and can carry multiple magazines. So now I have a bandolier right here that is able to hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mags, or it can just carry 4 mags. You can probably try and squeeze in, 2 mags in each cell. So that is super, super convenient. What's nice about bandolier systems, you can have preloaded mags. They're ready to rock, maybe in your closet. And if crap hits the fan and you got to get out of Dodge quick, or you just got to grab ammo as fast as you possibly can, and some of your ammo is not inside of, you have ammo in your plate carrier, but maybe you want to grab extra ammo for whatever reason, you can have them in this bandolier and they're ready to go. And then you can just grab it and go, and you can take a lot of ammo with you that's already preloaded, and it's not going to break the bank. So getting these old school pouches, or if you have a friend or buddy in the military and he has his range day, and holding on to, tell him, hey, hold on to those bandoliers, I'll give you a couple bucks for them, or maybe he just gives them to you for free. They are super, super useful. Now, the military actually developed a bandolier system specifically from the ammo can ones, but they also developed their own speed bandoliers, and you can pick these up for like $9. I've seen multicam versions are a little bit more expensive, but this is an ACU patterned one. It carries 6 mags. It has a button closure, and same exact thing. It's a quick grab system. So you can literally just grab this and go. Has all the mags preloaded. There's also loops on the bottom, so worst case scenario, if you need to make this into a hasty chest rig, you can put this over top of your head and take 550 cord or paracord and wrap that around the loops, and all of a sudden you got a chest rig in a pinch. This thing is super, super useful, and having a bandolier system as part of your group or your team is going to be huge. So if you guys maybe have these in the car, if you get somewhere, you have your bandoliers hanging in a vehicle and you need to grab extra ammo, or you're trying to do a resupply for another team out there, you can grab a bunch of these and chuck them to those guys and hook them up with ammo that's already preloaded. Now, if you are looking for a little bit of a higher speed bandolier, this one is actually from Night Fighter, and he sent me this bandolier. What's really nice about this bandolier is the fact that it can actually wrap around your waist, and it has a shoulder strap, so you kind of wear it like almost like a European saddlebag, and then this weight strap prevents that from flopping all over the place. It holds 6 magazines. It has an elastic type of pouch on it, and it's super lightweight, very slim, really easy for running and gunning if you need to. What's nice about the fact that it has these different straps is that you can just grab that, throw it over top of a slick plate carrier, clip it into you, and now you've got extra ammo if you need it in a pinch. But the cost on that is super, super low, really, really useful, and is a more modernized bandolier. For the bandoliers that we have up here, they are so inexpensive. You can literally get multiples of them for less than $20. You could probably get 5 or 6 of them. And they're really, really useful. So I highly recommend these things. They're a game changer. As far as ways that you can use them, just think outside the box. The sky's the limit. Another surplus item that you can grab is a boonie cap. I've seen boonie caps. Make sure you get a good military surplus one. There are some ones that are from like Rothco and some Amazon ones, but I still prefer the old school military surplus ones. So getting one that has like the military label on the inside, or going to your surplus store and picking up one. These things are super nice. They have breathe holes on the side. They're very inexpensive. This one, I've actually cut the outer edge of it off, so that way it's a little bit more pliable, and it's really, really nice to have, especially in a hot environment where you're trying to keep the sun off your neck. What's good about this is you can also attach on these jungle loops. You can put helmet scrim type stuff on there. You can take veg, you can shove it inside of these loops. Really, really nice and inexpensive, and a great way to be able to keep the sun off of your neck. When it comes to keeping not just the sun off your neck, but bugs, you can pick this thing up. It looks silly, but honestly, it's really, really helpful, especially here in Florida. This is a bug net, and you actually put it over top of your helmet or your hat. You can also wear your boonie and put it over top of your boonie hat. But what it does is it has a mosquito net that keeps off your face, and the mosquito net itself is actually camouflaged. This is a really cheap thing that you can pick up at a military surplus store. It's really, really nice and convenient for keeping those bugs off you. And just like I told you before, when it comes to those small comforts, you can literally think about any time that you've been out and you are literally getting swarmed by mosquitoes, you're absolutely miserable. And if you're miserable and you're uncomfortable, you're not thinking about the task at hand, you're just thinking about how miserable you are. So the more comfortable that you can make yourself with your equipment, making sure it's sized properly, making sure you're wearing it properly, getting equipment that helps keep you more comfortable is going to make you a lot more effective to the team, because now you can actually focus on the mission and the task. So picking up something like this, it's super lightweight, it's super small. It can go into one of your pouches that you have on your gear, and whenever you need it, you can bust it out and put it away in a pinch. One of the great ways I like to store my mosquito nets if I'm not wearing my boonie hat is I just put it inside my boonie hat, ball it all up, and now I have everything kind of secured in one spot, and I'll put that inside of a pouch. So all this different types of military surplus type equipment or cheaper gear is just one of those things where it's honestly a lot of fun finding all of these smaller, unique finds that are from, you go to a military surplus store and you like find something that's really cool and really useful. And it's always good to just have more equipment, because even though you might have your own chest rig and your plate carrier and you have it really nice and set up for you, getting some old surplus stuff is also good to have in a duffel bag, because then you can outfit other people who are in your community or maybe other family members and give them equipment as well. So that way they're not up a creek with nothing to wear and you're the only one in your family or your community that's outfitted with equipment. So having some surplus stuff laying around, or maybe taking some of your old plate carriers or your old plates and your old equipment and just putting it in storage or having it in a bag, and then making sure that you have stuff for other people if crap does hit the fan, so that way you can outfit your community or outfit your family. Remember, all the different equipment that you have, you can also bring that to the table whenever you train with your team and we're like, hey, we need a surplus of equipment. We've got all these new people that are here. They don't have anything because everything's shut down and there's nothing available. Now you have all this extra equipment that you can be able to use to outfit the group. But what's interesting is that, talking about the times that we're living in really, really stressful times. And you know what, sometimes when I'm in a surplus store and I'm looking at some really cool, interesting finds, it reminds me of the story in Matthew chapter 18 where Jesus is talking about a parable, and it's the parable of the lost sheep. See that you do not despise one of these little ones, for I tell you that in heaven their angels always see the face of my Father who is in heaven. When he says little ones, he's talking about children. God loves children, man. Like he is blessed us with blessed me with the fact that I have kids and giving me that joy in my life, and they are the pride and joy of my life. He has called all of us to, have the heart of a child, the innocence of a child. Whenever I talk to my kids about the Lord, it's not a question. It's just a known fact. Like, yeah, Jesus is real. God is real, and God calls us to have a heart like that. He says, for I tell you that in heaven their angels always see the face of my Father who is in heaven. What do you think? If a man has 100 sheep and one of them has gone astray, does he not leave the 99 on the mountain and go in search of the one that went astray? And if he finds it, truly I say to you, he rejoices over it, more than over the 99 that never went astray. So it is not the will of my Father who is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish. And that gives me so much comfort in knowing the type of God that we have a relationship with, the type of Savior that we have, and the type of Savior that Jesus is in our lives. For myself, I've lived a life where I was really chasing my own goals and my own aspirations, and I was that one sheep that was walking on its own path and completely running astray. And God came and he cared about me, and he went after me. And when he found me, man, he just overwhelmed me with his love and his caring, just like that shepherd that went out for that lost sheep. And God wants to do the same with you. If you're going through a time in your life where you're just lost, he is looking for you. He is calling and pleading for you to be able to come back to him. He is the shepherd and you are the lost lamb, and he is wanting you to come home and to be with him and to have that relationship with him. Not so that way he can subjugate you and tell you what to do and make your life, a strict rule-following religious type thing. No, he wants to overwhelm you with love and to take all the burdens and the stress and the anxiety that all the world is constantly putting on us, and he wants to take all that away. He wants to lead you beside still waters and green pastures and have it where you live in a life that is full of comfort and peace and love. And there's things that are going to be hard in life, but God will be there to get you through it. And you'll find the more that you trust in Jesus and the more that you give things to him, especially your anxieties and your problems. I found this out, is I had this supernatural, weird peace about everything. I had this crazy circumstance where I would have peace during times of hardship when I should be freaking out, but God is just overwhelming me with peace and compassion and understanding. So don't feel like God has too much on his plate. Don't feel like God is too busy for your problems. God says to pray about everything. Pray about everything. And he will take away all of your stress. So don't stress about anything, but pray about everything. If you have something small in your life or big, pray about it. Give it to God. He's going to take it away from you. Or he's going to help you through that problem or that process and that storm. So if you're going through a hard time and you want a prayer request, please put it in the comments or email me at team@barrelhandhatchet.com. If you have a story or a testimony that you want to share with us, put it in the comment section, or if you want to share it with me, I would love to hear your testimonies. Go to team@barrelhandhatchet.com and email me. I am so thankful to be in a position to be able to have God, use this channel to be able to speak to you guys, to be able to provide you guys hope. My goal for this channel is that I will become less and that God will become more, and that I am just a servant to you guys. So, from myself, whatever you guys need, however I can serve you better, whether that's giving, more videos about different types of content, continuing to push out more knowledge, or that's doing more training classes, or just being somebody that can listen to, a problem that you're going through or something that you're struggling with. I'm here. And so is God, and God wants to be able to come into your life and completely change it. Guys, make sure you go out there. Look for ways that you can help your fellow man. Look for ways that you can love on people and be a blessing to others. Train to be the eternal asset, and I will see you on the next one.